Pax Christi Nigerian Catholics. Exactly 27 years ago, something historic happened in a small town in Nigeria that had the eyes of the entire Catholic world watching. On the 22nd of March 1998, in a place called Oba in Anambra State, Nigeria, over 1 million people gathered to witness something that had never happened before in West Africa. A local priest, Father Cyprian Iwene Tansi, was beatified by none other than Pope John Paul II. That moment didn't just shake the ground in Oba, it echoed across Africa and in the Vatican. It was powerful, spiritual, and personal. Father Tansi was born in 1903 in Aguleri, a small town in Nigeria's southeastern region. He grew up during a time of massive change, colonialism, Christianity spreading across the region, and a lot of cultural clashes. But young Cyprian stood out. Originally from a traditional Igbo family, he converted to Christianity, became a Catholic priest in 1937, and spent years serving rural parishes where the roads were terrible, the resources were few, and the work grueling. But he showed up every day. And he didn't just show up, he gave everything. His energy, his voice, his prayers, and his life. People described him as fierce in preaching, but soft in spirit. He was all about humility, service, and discipline. And in 1950, he left Nigeria and joined a Cistercian monastery in England, seeking a deeper spiritual life as a monk. He died in 1964 in Leicester, far from home, and for a while it looked like that was the end of his story, but it wasn't. Fast forward to the 80s and 90s, people started speaking up, not just about how inspiring Father Tansi was, but about the miracles they believed happened through him. The Vatican took notice. The Catholic Church launched a formal investigation into his life, his work, and the miracles that followed. And after years of digging, prayer, and paperwork, the Church said, yes, this man's life was holy. Which brings us to March 22nd, 1998. The sun was blazing in Oba that day. Streets were packed, the air electric. The entire town turned into a spiritual festival. Catholics from all over Africa, bishops in colorful vestments, choirs singing in Igbo, English and Latin, and at the center of it all stood an old, gentle Polish man in white robes, Saint Pope John Paul II. He declared Father Tansi blessed, which in Catholic terms means one step away from sainthood. It was the first time a West African had ever reached that level in the church. And the crowd went wild. Tears, singing, dancing, prayers lifted like smoke into the sky. And this wasn't just a feel-good story. It meant something real. For African Catholics, especially Nigerians, this was validation. It was the church saying, holiness isn't just in Rome, in France, or in Spain. It's here, in Africa, in Nigeria. It inspired a new wave of vocations to the priesthood. Young people started dreaming of lives dedicated to God because if Father Tansi could do it, maybe they could too. His story was now our story, a symbol of possibility, a spark of faith. And even today, people are still visiting his tomb in Nigeria, still praying through him, still hoping for that one final miracle that could lead to full canonization, where he officially becomes Saint Tansi. So yes, it's 27 years ago. The world changed a little in a small Nigerian town. It wasn't war, it wasn't a celebrity scandal, it wasn't even politics. It was a quiet man who lived simply, prayed deeply, and loved fiercely, being honored in front of millions as a model of holiness. Not bad for a priest from an African village, not bad from a priest from a small Nigerian village. If you have never heard of Father Tansi before today, now you have. And if you ever find yourself in Nigeria, you might just want to stop by Aguleri or Oba. Who knows? You might walk the same path as a future saint. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.